Welcome to Failed Forward, a podcast for professionals who are wondering, how the hell did I get here?
Join your host, Rachel Durkan, and me, Donna Miller, as we discuss the messy, bumpy, and often unattractive journey to success.
After all, if it isn't hard to do, is it really worth doing? Hello, and welcome to Failed Forward, the podcast for those of us wondering, how the hell did I get here? My name is Rachel Durkan, and I'm with Paradigm Marketing and Design, and I am joined by my lovely and talented co-host, Donna Miller. Donna, introduce yourself.
So I am Donna Miller. I am president of, no, I'm not. Oh, God. No.
That's amazing. Keep going. This is perfect. Tell them why you're not president anymore.
Okay. I am Chief Visionary Officer at C3 Workplace because I read Simon Sinek's Infinite Game and I loved it. And he said, president says nothing. And he thinks the CEO should be the CVO. So I made myself CVO. So Donna Miller, Chief Visionary Officer at C3 Workplace and founder of Donna Miller Business Growth Consulting.
I love Simon Sinek.
I do too. I've read everything, even multiple times. He was a game changer for me. So we thank you for joining us today on Failed Forward, and we're doing something a little bit different. In a recent episode, Rachel interviewed me, and today we're going to hear from Ms. Rachel Durkan, who I guess we've known each other, 10, 15 years at this point?
A long time, yeah.
And I met Rachel when she had first opened her firm, and I knew immediately that she was wicked smart. And like me, Rachel and I work at a speed that most people can come close to. So, Rachel, give us the backstory. How did you land in this place of having this mega successful marketing firm?
It was a huge accident. So in your story, Donna, we heard that you had a purpose and a plan and clarity, and I did this completely by accident. Like I like to say, I had no idea what I was doing. I still have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh, please.
I went to college for marketing. I got my MBA, and I worked at a few corporate places. And then I worked for United Way. I still like to say I had my quarter life crisis. I didn't feel like I had a purpose in the world. What was I doing? And when I was at United Way, this was early, digital world. And they're like, you're in your 20s, you're in charge of digital marketing. You know that thing called Facebook? Can you help us market on that? So suddenly I was thrust into the world of digital marketing with no oversight, no support, just figure it out. And I did. I actually went back to school for web and graphic design, which is hilarious to my parents because I could barely turn a computer on and forget coding.
Wow.
And I was awful at it. And to this day, like when I have to set up the PlayStation for my kids or something, I just call my husband. I'm like, I'm not doing that. He's like, don't you build websites? I'm like, it's different.
So at this point too.
Yeah, exactly. I went back to school for web and graphic design because in the world of digital marketing at that time, in order to set up ads, you really needed to understand, how the interweb worked. And I really enjoyed it. So now fast forward, we're about 2009 or 10. We all remember what happened. And I was really struggling in my initial role. There was not a lot of growth opportunity and there were no other jobs to be had. So though I did get an offer in 2009, which I thought was a big win to get a job offer back then. It wasn't a good offer, but I got an offer. So to assuade my, I don't want to call it boredom, but like my need for a passion for something. With that learning I did on web and graphic design, I literally signed up on Craigslist and I offered to build somebody's website. And I built my first website off of Craigslist for $500. It was a 50-page site. That would be $25.
Oh my goodness. They get a bargain.
But to be fair, I had no clue what I was doing. Like, man, are we lucky that thing came together. So great. So, it was an accident. I enjoyed it. I was passionate about it and I kept doing it. And that's what I did at night on the weekends. I had just gotten married. I got married very young with my husband. But we had nothing. He worked late. We didn't have kids and that's what I did for fun. And that passion, when I remember being at work, my real job, a couple of years into that passion and thinking, I got to hire someone. I've got too many projects. And then I'm thinking, how stupid is this? That I want to hire an employee to help me while I'm spending 40 hours a week at this job when I could just quit my job and make as much money. And so I did, but that was probably one of the most terrifying things I ever did, was leave a steady paycheck and health insurance to start this hobby and turn it into a company. So fast
I-
forward a couple years later, I was helping small businesses with websites, and I'd say, well, who's your target audience? They'd say everyone. I'd say, well, how are you going to market? And they'd say, we're sending out mailers. And so I started offering marketing support because I had it, I had the experience, and Paradigm was born.
Yes, it was. Now, so when you thought about leaving your corporate job and giving up those benefits, what was that process like for you? And how long did it take you until you could sleep through the night because you were no longer completely stressed out?
A very long time. So understand that I started Paradigm as a hobby when I was 24 years old. I started it as a company when I was like 26 years old.
Okay.
So on the bright side, I had no mortgage. I had no kids. My husband had a, an entry level job at the time. And I had bartended for years and years. And I said, the worst thing I can do, the worst case scenario, I'm just gonna pick up a couple of shifts on the weekends and, I'll be fine. So that there was that, but I'll tell you what the hardest part was for me that kept me up at night. So once, to answer your first question, once that transition happened and I was doing it, I felt better, but it was taking that leap. And I had a business coach say to me, because I had a business coach at the time. I wouldn't leave my job, but I had a business
Good
coach.
for you.
The coach said to me, you can't get to second base with your foot still on first. And
Oh,
I say that to myself every time I'm scared to do something,
I have
because
heard.
the second I left that job, the company took off. I had all my time to put into it, and I was passionate about it, and I enjoyed it, and I was working 70 hours a week, but I liked it. Like, I was having fun. And um and that